We're getting ready to break into scout teams here in a little bit. Probably by Monday we'll at least know who's on the scout team and know who's working with the 1 and 2 units. We won't be working the 3s much, if any, anymore after this point. We have one more day where we'll do that. And as far as the QB situation is concerned, the #1 guy, of course, is Brad. And then right now what I'm going to do is work I'm going to work Testaverde and Malik with the 2s and give them all the reps with the 2s and just kind of let them battle it out. And then the rest of the guys, I want them to keep competing, and they're still in a lot of drill work, and just want to see what's up. And if somebody struggles, in that 2-unit match, maybe somebody bumps in there. So it's not 100% solid on one of those 2 will be the 2s, but they're in the driver's seat right now. And they'll get all the reps with the #2s.
What did you see out of Vincent in particular that kind of elevated him to that status?
First of all, very tight race. There were times when I would have said Evans in that bunch. There were times when I would have said Jackson in that two-man deal. So it took a long time to get to this point. And so no one really was so consistent that I was like, it's a slam dunk. So all these guys, even the top 2, they've not done everything like we want it done on a consistent basis. But they show flashes, and they're a little more solid maybe in their accuracy or in the decision-making process. So, but like even today, it was bad decision here and there that we just can't have. So now you're in that position. What are you going to do with it? You're getting the reps. What are you going to do with it? And that's part of the exercise. Is once a guy feels like he's okay, now it's down to 2. What happens to him? Does he continue to focus and get better, or does he spit the bit?
Was Testaverde's game experience at all? Did you kind of like?
I didn't sit there and say because of that, because there were moments he was out of that top 2 for the 2 race, for the #2 spot.
Who's been the most accurate of the backups consistently throughout the
I mean, part of the reason why Malik and Testaverde are there is because the accuracy issue. So that's part of it. To say one over the other, I wouldn't say.
You mentioned that it's sort of not totally close to someone like Evan. What would Evan in particular need to show you to get back into it?
He just needs to keep taking the reps and knowing what to do and hitting his target when it presents itself. Just the accuracy will go a long way in his cause, like it does for all of them.
In terms of Malik specifically, along with the accuracy, what would you like to see him continue to work on through this?
Well, I think Malik's had a tendency to want to do something heroic. Keep telling him, I don't need a hero. I need somebody to run the system. I need somebody to do what they're supposed to do on a down-by-down basis. So, there's 2 things with the guys I'm teaching. If there's a bad play, then don't turn that into a catastrophe. In other words, sometimes we call a route, and it's a 1-high beater route, and we guess wrong. All right, it ends up being too deep. Well, don't throw it into coverage. Throw the ball away. It's a bad play, or it's a perfect coverage, but the guard gets beat by the 3 technique. He's up in your face. Well, then you might have to throw it away if you have time, or take a sack, protect the ball. Don't throw it under duress up in the air and let the ball get batted around and picked. Don't turn a bad play into a catastrophe. And the other thing is just. Like I said before, most great plays are just a normal play that they do at an extraordinary time. Just be consistent in your reads, be consistent in your accuracy, be consistent getting us in the right plays, be consistent declaring who the Mike linebacker is in our run and passing game schemes to let everybody know who to block. Those are the things they got to do.
The idea of naming a co-#2, is that something you prefer in terms of keeping the competition level up, or would you have rather just had a #2 right now?
No, this is about competition still. I'm not sure who #2 is. By the time we play, I want to know who's the first guy in the game. And right now, I don't know who it is, so that's why I'm doing that.
Have you done this before, like previously anywhere, named the co-#2?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not naming anything. I'm just saying these 2 guys are still battling for the #2 spot.
I gotcha.
So I might have said co-2, but to me, it's just there's 2 guys left that are going to get reps with the 2 units that are going to, you know, it's going to help us decide who should be in the game first.
Hey Mark, in terms of the offensive line, how do you feel kind of about how many guys you could put into a game right now?
Right. From an assignment point of view, there's more than maybe 6 or 7. I'd say 6 or 7 that are ready in all areas, assignment and just the skill set to get the job done and being able to do it on a consistent enough basis to have some peace. And there's the linemen are like QBs. Certain guys will show flashes of doing it right. If you do it right 3 times in a row and the 4th time you just whiff a guy, you're gonna get somebody hurt, a back or a quarterback. So I think guys are a lot closer to being ready than they were when we started in the spring, for sure. So, but I'd say still about 6 or 7. But there's other guys that, if they at least know what to do, and you know, you could function like that. If a lineman knows what to do and he puts his hat in the right spot and he fights like mad, even if he's not dominating, you can function and play.
You mind saying
Last question, guys.
Well, all right. Who would be the first left tackle? You know, if Darling went out, who would be the guy?
All right, after the coach shows.
Well, Deontay Mullins, did you see anything from him? How did he fit
One
in?
play.
What did he do?
He ran a little stop route. We hit him. Ball was a little high. He snatched it, tucked it, turned upfield, nice and smooth. Looks like a really smooth athlete.